What's up, snake fans? It's Tuesday morning here at Muscle Serpents Daily, and I have an axanthic posset snow, or posset albino, carpet python around my neck. I produced this girl in 2018. She is one of my holdbacks, along with my snow male that I produced, which is the albino axanthic. And you know, it's interesting because we're in the midst of the breeding season now. We're getting into it and we're pairing up animals and the temperatures have dropped and everything. And a lot of things we're not feeding. Ball pythons, on the other hand, get fed more, it seems like, at the beginning of the breeding season when they're really building follicles and stuff like that. But the carpets and the boas I don't feed. But I do feed the holdbacks, you know, and the grow-ups. And that's, sometimes we forget about those. Those are the exciting ones. So let's go into the snake room today and take a look at some of my grow-ups and holdbacks that will be breeding in the next couple years here. And that's, you know, sometimes exciting stuff. You can see what the future holds here at Palumbo's Pythons and Boas. Let's go into the snake room and see what we got. All right, there is I just referred to it before, my snow male holdback from 2018, growing up nicely, putting on some good size, and hopefully he'll be in the breeding rotation next year. And he's eating. It's funny, when I cut the temperatures back, especially the males, sometimes they will cut back their eating, I find. I don't think he's ready to breed now. I didn't try to breed him this year. You know, some people would try to breed him. I'm going to give him another year. But he's not eating really that well. He's eating. He won't eat any frozen like he normally does. He'll eat live, but he's not as vigorously eating, and I think it's because it's cooler in my snake room. I've cooled all the temps down, and he feels it. Even though I don't breed these snakes, all the snakes get exposed, I guess you could say, that the temperature drops, so they get used to it. Once again, he's a snow. That's an albino and axanthic, double recessive, and he's looking awesome. Can't wait to get him in the rotation. You know, the goal being to produce that moon glow, that elusive moon glow at some point. I don't know if I'll be able to do it with what I got, but we're going to try over the next couple of years. All right, I didn't want to turn this into a whole carpet video, but it looks like it's turning into a carpet video, and that's fine. I love carpets. There's a snow, and there's an albino male. Same litter they're from. Obviously, the holdback is a little bigger, so I've been feeding him a little bit more. And you could tell the difference now between the albino, which has much more vibrant, you know, yellows and delineation, and then, of course, the snow, which has that axanthic gene in it that kind of erases some of that yellow. It's funny that the axanthic gene is supposed to take away all yellow, but it doesn't. Especially not in the locality of carpet that this is probably bred into. I have a feeling, I'm pretty sure, I'm almost 99% sure that this was a Darwin albino bred to a Iriangaya axanthic that produced the double hets parents that I used to produce these guys. So the IJs or Iriangayas seem to be more yellow. So when you add that axanthic gene, it doesn't seem to remove all the yellow. That's my theory, at least. I don't know. But once again, to get that yellow completely erased, we have to throw something else in there, like a caramel gene or hypo gene. I'm trying with the caramel. I know that we got the hypo now in the United States. I almost pulled the trigger and bought a hypo from Nick Mutton a few months ago. But I'm like, oh, then I got to work it back into all these recessives. So I didn't know if I wanted to do it. I'm still thinking about it, but I'm going to try with the caramel gene first to see if we can erase that yellow and get a white snake. That's the goal. But you can see, this is definitely a difference. And this male albino, which is gorgeous, by the way, with great contrast, he is available. I haven't listed him yet on Morph Market. Just contact me directly. He'll go up eventually, but he's really nice, and he's a yearling, eating very well. And I would have kept him if it was a female, probably, but I got enough males already, and he's my holdback, so you can't get better than the snow, right? So this is an albino, 66% het axanthic. So if you get lucky and you hit on the axanthic, you almost got a snow here. You got a snow maker. Here's one of my favorite holdbacks. I know I show her a lot, but she is one of my favorites. Scaleless head. Look at those, all the scales missing. That's a lot of scales missing. Scaleless head albino. So it's a visual albino with the scaleless head. And the goal, obviously, to produce a scaleless albino. I haven't done that yet. I'm probably not even close to it. Not yet. She's got to grow up a little bit more. She probably needs another year at least. But she's growing really good. She's putting some nice size on. She eats pretty well. And she certainly is scaleless head. And I think the albino is going to look pretty exquisite. We've seen a leucistic. I don't know if I've seen an albino scaleless yet, but I've seen a leucistic. A couple, I think 2 people produced it. I believe that Kevin McCurley produced one. I think Garrett DeMeyer produced one as well over Royal Constrictors. So this is going to be a great project. Looking forward to it. I don't think I've ever seen a scaleless head that had so many scales missing on its head. This thing is like almost the whole head, or the whole half of the head. All right, this is a black pastel Mojave spider head clown. Now, doesn't look anything that spectacular. I mean, it's a beautiful animal. Let's not get that wrong. I love anything black pastel, but the potential here is that black pastel clown. We love to see that in there. And this has got Mojave in it, so I can totally envision breeding this girl with my GHI Mojave pastel clown at some point in the future, producing some really high contrast clowns. It seems like these dark morphs work really well, like GHI, blackhead, leopard, and of course black pastel. So I'm looking forward to getting that in there. And this is one of my holdback girls. She was eating terribly when I first got her. I got her from Justin Kabilka, and she was eating terribly. I was kind of pissed off, and then all of a sudden, I mean, you could never, these snakes, that's ball pythons for you. And then she just started eating again. I'm keeping her in a nice small tub. If you guys have trouble feeding your snakes, don't put them in big tubs. Keep in the smallest, even if it looks almost too small. Keep them in the smallest tub. I put her back in a hatchling tub originally, got her eating, and then I moved her into a small, like V35 from Vision, and she's in there now, and she's doing fine. So sometimes less is better. All right, we'll finish off today with amazing holdbacks. This is my beautiful blue eye. Let's see if we can get that blue eye in there. Super hypo crystal, super hypo, super labyrinth boa. You can see she's putting on some nice size. There's that blue eye. Look at that blue eye. Whoa, she's gorgeous. Truly gorgeous. Love her. Long-term project, growing her up nice and slow. She's a great eater, I'll tell you that much though. Wow, is she a good eater? Too good maybe. I have to cut her back. I have to keep her meals small because she'll eat too much. She always wants to eat. But you could see those pinks in there, and you could see that the labyrinth pattern was reduced to a single line, and that's probably because of the super hypo gene in there. You can just see the inklings of a little bit of labyrinth in there. When she was smaller, you can actually see a little bit more pattern as she's gotten bigger and expanded, so to speak. I think she's gotten whiter, and that single line has gotten pinker. Once again, she's got the beautiful blue eyes, and one day she'll be a breeder. Her brother is in the breeding rotation this year. Hopefully we can produce something from him, we'll see. So my 2 favorite snakes are my 2 dragons, as I like to call them, my 2 crystals. I believe both of them are super hypos, or at least hypo. That's for sure, because the pattern is greatly reduced. And let's take you out there with a nice little blue eye. Yeah, look at that blue eye. All right, guys, that's going to do it today here at Muscle Serpents Daily. You got to see some amazing holdbacks that I've been growing up for the last couple of years, and hopefully we'll get into the breeding rotation in the next year or 2. That's what it's all about. You got to have young, upcoming stock, always becoming the next generation of great stuff. Even though you're constantly breeding, current, adults you have, and new stuff that's just hit the breeding age, you always have to be worrying about, all right, what am I going to do next year? What am I going to do the year after that? What am I going to do after the year after that? And that's what makes the project so creative, because you always have to be thinking a couple steps ahead. And so, you know what, to be honest with you, don't be too stressed if you don't have all those thoughts, all those breedings figured out in the future, because a lot of times I don't even know what I'm going to put together. This year I'm still trying to figure out the combinations, because the more males and females you have, the more combinations you make, the more things you can possibly do. And you know what I always say to myself? I always say, oh, why didn't I put those 2 together? Why didn't I think of that last year? Or why didn't I? So it's never too late. There's always this year, and there's always next year. Okay, guys, hopefully you're having a great day. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on your notifications, hit the like button. We'll see you back Wednesday morning.